Dun, 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 dun. Are we going live? Yes, we. Oh, let's see. There we go. And there we go. Come on. Okay. Back to that, and then we go. Yes. Oh my god. Minecraft music is so loud. Get out. Okay. We can say short stream, but we'll be watching What is Next for Oliver Bama by the F1 word. The F1 word. Yeah. And what is next for Oliver Bama? I mean, why would they keep Kevin Magnussen? I would say. Than getting Oliver Bama. But let's see what he have to say about that. And we will be... Well, we will probably not do so much stuff. Mostly maybe running back and forth and seeing how this area will look. Maybe this will be more saved for a longer stream. So for now we just doing maybe boring stuff.
Hey guys, Sean here, and welcome to the F1 word. Now, as you may have heard, Oliver Bama made his F1 debut in Jeddah driving for...
Yep, have two less points than Lewis Hamilton. That's amazing.
Ferrari in place of Carlos Sainz, who had to undergo surgery for appendicitis. The Ferrari Academy driver got the call ahead of final practice in Saudi Arabia, meaning he had just 60 minutes to get to grips with the SF24 around the incredibly demanding Jeddah Corniche circuit. Despite that limited amount of time, though, Bama went on to qualify in 11th place, missing out on Q3 by a whisker, and managed to pick up points.
Almost out qualifying Lewis Hamilton. That would be amazing.
On debut with a 7th place finish. It was an impressive first F1 outing for the young Brit, and it's got to be said he did drive extremely well, all things considered. His tyre management during the long final stint was strong, as was his pace, to be fair. After all, he managed to keep Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton at bay fairly comfortably, despite the two of them being on much fresher, soft compound tyres. His drive was also free of any major mistakes, and he seemed able to keep a cool head throughout the Grand Prix. And that 7th place finish, by the way, means that Behrman is the youngest driver in F1 history to score points on debut, and the 3rd youngest behind Max Verstappen and Lance Stroll to score any points at all. He is also now the 3rd youngest driver to race in F1 behind the same two drivers and ahead of Lando Norris and Jaime Alguersuari. Remember him? So, naturally, the world of F1 has hopped on the Behrman hype train, and it seems as though everyone is talking about when he will get a full-time seat in the series. Some already talking about...
Why would the Kym Illman still have his seat?
Up as Lewis Hamilton's potential replacement at Ferrari in the future. Look, Behrman's performance in Jeddah was impressive, again when you consider all the factors at play. Limited time to get settled in the car, his lack of F1 experience, the relentless and demanding nature of the circuit, as well as the pressure that comes with driving for Ferrari. And in the 2nd fastest car that weekend, don't forget that. And whilst it may look as though he is nailed on for a seat next year, something that looked like a possibility prior to his debut anyway, maybe it's time to just take a step back for a moment and calm things down just a little bit.
Why not?
It was just one race after all, and we've seen drivers in the past...
Yeah, one race, and Kevin Magnussen is bad all the races.
...press in junior categories and even on debut who go on to be okay at best. Then again, you could say we have also seen drivers excel on debut and go on to win multiple world championships. My point is, though, it could go either way, so tipping him as the replacement for a 7-time world champion who hasn't even driven a single lap for Ferrari after just one, let's say, half weekend, seems a little bit premature in my opinion at least. There is the possibility
not.
the hype is exaggerated due to publications desperately trying to talk about something other than the Red Bull situation or their domination. We could maybe even consider that the lack of driver transfers between the end of 2023 and the start of 2024 means people are just desperate for something, or in this case, someone different. None of that, though, to be clear, should detract from how good Behrman was in Saudi Arabia. There's not really any denying that. With all of that said, though, it is understandable why he is being linked with a full-time drive next season, but in all fairness, all of this hype hasn't just come from what happened in Saudi Arabia. Before his F1 debut, he was already highly rated by Ferrari, and he impressed Haas last year with his FP1 outings for the team. Aoka Matsu saying after his Mexico practice debut that he didn't think he could fault him, before going on to praise his professionalism, calmness, and the fact he didn't put a foot wrong, before adding, and I will quote him, very simple quote, "Very, very good job, very impressed." Komatsu also said, after being asked about the impression Behrman's performance in Jeddah had left on the F1 world, that, quote, "He deserves a chance next year, I guess." Although did stop short at saying he's under consideration at Haas, which is pretty normal for team bosses. They're not going to show all their cards at this stage of the year. It is also worth noting that Behrman shone in both the ADAC Formula 4 and Italian F4 championships in 2021, where he won both titles with a combined 17 wins from 39 races. Went on to finish third in F3 in 2022 and ended up in 6th place in the standings in his rookie F2 season, where he took, if you remember, 3 poles, 4 wins and 6 podiums over the course of the year. The point I'm making, in the roundabout way that I always like to make my points, is that his speed and potential was evident long before his first race in F1 last time out. So when you throw that performance in Jeddah on top of everything I've just mentioned, you can see why so many are now looking at where he may end up in the future and feel like his chances of landing an F1 seat are pretty high. Still, though, the idea of a seat with a team at the very sharp end of the grid seems unlikely right now. More on that shortly, though. What happens now, though? Well, the immediate answer is simple and glaringly obvious. Behrman will return to F2, assuming, as is expected at time of recording, Carlos Sainz is fit to race in Australia, and there will be many expecting him to challenge for that F2 title, a task that, somewhat ironically, is now a lot tougher than it was pre-F1 debut, because he sits bottom of the pile in the championship standings with no...
He has 0 points and is better placed in Formula 1 than his Formula 2.
Points whatsoever, following a tough weekend for Prema in Bahrain, and obviously him missing those F2 sprint and feature races in Jeddah. That is already a 47-point deficit to current championship leader Zane Maloney. That's a hefty gap, but I'm talking about F2 here, and with plenty of racing still to come in 2024, and the inevitable twists and turns that come with a season in that category still on the horizon, there are plenty of opportunities for that to be turned on its head. I think it is worth saying as well that F1 teams aren't ignorant to what is going on around them when it comes to up-and-coming young drivers. And so if he did end up missing out on the title by, let's say, a few points come the end of the year, I'd like to think, in fact, I'm pretty confident the fact he missed the F2 Jeddah weekend to score 6 points in F1 instead would be taken into account. But that's something to worry about in the future if it happens.
Du ser folk lägga upp bilder när de reser jorden runt, köper bilar och... Du kommer ihåg att du har jobb imorgon. Du öppnar YouTube och söker Best online business to start for beginners eller How to make money online. Du ser några videor men blir ännu mer förvirrad än innan. SMA, dropshipping, trading, remote sales, listan är oändlig och alla säger att deras affärsmodell är den bästa att börja. Personligen försökte med över 4 olika affärsmodeller och failade absolut alla. Fram till jag eventuellt lyckades med att skala mitt egna företag till över 180 000 kronor i månaden. En sak jag lärde mig från alla mina misstag som kommer spara dig månader om inte...
And then we do this. The ad is gone. No need to watch that anymore or hear it. And it hopefully get flagged as need to get the ad person need to pay for it. So quiet. Let's see. This need to get removed. Oh, one more. Let's see. What do I have? Man, I need to run. Man, I really need to get more. What that now called? Oh, back to watching. if it not a one more ad. Yes, it is. God damn it. Let's see. It's just the window. Then open. It opens. Oh shit! Now it's back. Oh, God damn! I need the sound also.
He missed the F2 Jeddah weekend to score 6 points in F1 instead would be taken into account. But that's something to worry about in the future if it happens. Beyond F2, Bearman will also get 6 FP1 outings with Haas this season at the Emilia-Romagna, Spanish, British, Hungarian, Mexico City and Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So the goal for Bearman for the rest of this year, I think, is pretty clear. He needs to get out there in F2 and during those FP1 sessions and make his case for a drive in 2025. Deliver consistency, demonstrate speed, and show growth and improvement. All of that will only help his stock rise further and maximise his chances of getting a promotion. After all, it's okay signing a driver based on the performance and results of just one race, but as we've seen recently in F1, that doesn't always work out. So what are his options for next season then? Straight away, we know that a full-time race seat at Ferrari is not on the cards because the Scuderia already confirmed over the winter Charles Leclerc's multi-year contract extension, as well as the signing of Lewis Hamilton on, again, a multi-year deal. That means Bearman to Ferrari is at least another couple of seasons away at the end of this year, probably even longer than that. Therefore, he will need to look elsewhere for a full-time seat in F1 if he wants to make the big step up for 2025. Sauber is a name that has been thrown around recently, and given the team's long-term close ties to Ferrari, it's not impossible that they could take him on. What makes that more unlikely, though, is the fact that Audi will take 100% control of the team and will be entering F1 fully in 2026. So those close Ferrari ties will be cut. Nico Hülkenberg, among others, has been linked with a move to Sauber ahead of the Audi switch, therefore making a move for Bearman even more unlikely. We've got to remember as well...
Wait, what?
Ferrari ties will be cut. Nico Hülkenberg, among others, has been linked with a move to Sauber ahead of the...
Really? That's interesting. Really? Hülkenberg to the Audi
switch, therefore making a move for Bearman even more unlikely. We've got to remember as well that the Sauber Academy also has its own young drivers to consider for promotion, so Audi may wish to prioritise one of those over potentially bringing in a youngster from another team. What a Hülkenberg move would mean, though, if it did actually happen, is that there would be a vacant seat at Haas, and that, perhaps unsurprisingly, is the most likely, some may even argue most probable destination for Bearman. Going back to near the start of the video where I said a seat for next year was something that looked like a possibility prior to his debut, I'm not really sure why a team would give a driver 6 FP1 sessions over the course of a single season unless they were seriously considering signing them the following year. After all, the regulations only require a team to give up 2 practice sessions for a rookie, and the team has spoken highly of Bearman in the past, as well as after his F1 debut last time out. Something like a Magnussen-Bearman, or if the Audi links turn out to be nonsense, a Hülkenberg-Bearman lineup could be a good balance for Haas. I doubt they're going to want to go back to an all-rookie pairing anytime soon, so putting a young driver like Bearman alongside the experience of a Magnussen or Hülkenberg could work out well for the team and indeed Bearman's development. It would also be good for him, and I say this a lot, to find his feet in F1 away from the spotlight and the pressure that comes with driving for Ferrari. And many drivers throughout F1 history have gone on to have incredibly successful careers, having started their journey cutting their teeth towards the back end of the midfielder at the back of the grid. Don't forget as well, the close ties between Ferrari and Haas don't look likely to disappear anytime soon. So there could be a deal to be done there on an engine discount, for example, if the Scuderia want to place Bearman at Haas for a couple of seasons. Think Russell to Williams as one example of how that could work well for all parties involved. There is, as always, a wild card I want to throw in here just because why not? Although I will say before I go any further that I seriously doubt this will happen, but it's not impossible, and it is something we've kind of seen happen before, or rumoured to happen before. With Ferrari closed off for the next few seasons and a move to Haas probably his most likely route to F1, Bearman may want to consider his options if he delivers for the rest of this year and remains hot property. So, what about a move to RB? Yes, the Red Bull Junior team. Sounds bonkers, but it's not that far-fetched.
Why? Why would they wanna... They have Ole Lawson. And a lot of other rookies.
Stick with me on this one. Back in
I can't.
2018, Lando Norris was rumoured to be under consideration by the team then named Toro Rosso if the Brit didn't land a seat at McLaren. And that's something Helmut Marko more or less confirmed last year, telling Service TV they had already reached an agreement with him until his manager realised there was an option for a contract with McLaren. So if RB decides Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda aren't the way to go for next season, they're going to need some new drivers. And so I don't think it's completely impossible that we could see something like a Lawson-Behrman lineup at RB in 2025.
Really? Why?
Especially if the Brit believes he's more likely to land in a Red Bull in the future than a Ferrari in a few years' time. I'll reiterate the point that I don't really think this will happen, and quite frankly, as a...
So this is just the copium Mercedes talk also. It could happen. Will it happen? No. Kevin Magnussen out. Oliver Behrman in is so much more likely.
Ferrari fan, I don't want it to happen, but I'm also saying it's not completely impossible, and that's why it's called a wild card pick. Stranger things have happened in F1, so you never know.
Like what?
Shall we wrap this up then?
People say Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari. I mean, I would say that's just logic. Why keep driving for a bad car when you can drive for a slightly better car that can sometimes win races?
Then I think we should, once again, if Behrman can deliver this year in F2, continue to develop well and show Haas as the drivers are back for the future, really specifically in those FP1 sessions with the team, it is highly likely that Haas will be where he lands in 2025. So that would be my prediction, if you like, as things stand today. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's absolutely nailed on like some seem to think it is, but he is definitely on the right track and he's got bags of potential as well. It's got to be said, though, if he struggles, and he could do, and doesn't go on to win the F2 title, for example, it wouldn't be the end of the world for him to do another year in that series. He is, after all, only 18 years old, and should Ferrari feel he needs another year even further away out of the media spotlight to improve and mature, they may choose to keep him in the series for one more season. The only thing is, as we've seen many times before, F1 is a fickle sport, and drivers are quickly forgotten when the next young hotshot comes along, so it is absolutely vital that Behrman continues...
Surely not. What do you mean?
To build on his strong debut in Jeddah and show the paddock that he absolutely should not be forgotten about and is a worthy signing for the future. That is it for this one then, but you can let me know your thoughts on Ollie Behrman's debut and where you reckon he'll be racing in 2025 in the comments section down below. Now, I will be back on Thursday with the Australian Grand Prix preview, but in the meantime, if you did enjoy this one, then please do leave a like, as it really does help the channel out, and also consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future videos or streams. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, this has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.
Oh shit, no. Honda. Honda and Aston Martin hype.
Nu sluts cirkeln för avdelning Q. Lyssna på den sista delen i Jussi Adler.
Yeah, sure.
About for single season unless...
So... Yeah, maybe far off to make maybe a win in Formula 2 or a champion that, but I mean, getting in his seat in okay, the going to RB or Red Bull team, that's just bad. When you can just get a seat for future Ferrari drive, why would you say no to that? You drive for maybe Haas for 1, 2 or 3 years, and then you do just Josh Russell did. You stay at Williams and then you join Mercedes, and then you're bad. It's bad, man. But yeah, Kym Magnussen to Audi, I mean, it could happen. I don't believe it will happen. And I think more Kevin Magnussen will lose his seat, and Oliver Behrman will keep his seat. Eller, he will get Magnussen's seat. And like I said, they already have Lawson do we have Lawson? Lawson. God damn it. Well, Lawson was here somewhere. And also that I also have Yukisuno and Daniel Ricciardo. So hardly believe they will change anything. I think more maybe Lawson will get the Logan Sargent seat. But yeah, that was that clip. And now we can go to some Kym Illman before we end this short stream.
G'day, after 3 weeks here in the Middle East, it's time to head home to Perth. I've got 2 business class flights today, the first on Saudia and the second on Emirates. Well, this is a delightful airport, huge, monstrous ceilings and lovely lighting, very calm. And there is a dedicated first and business class check-in area for Saudia passengers. And I've got these nice little seating pods here, although this one here needs some attention.
This is our traditional Arabic coffee with cardamom. We serve it with date.
Coffee time!
Or ma'moul, or pleasure if you want.
Well, at the moment, there's no one in here. I'm the only one being given a tour, but it's quite gorgeous. It reminds me a bit of the lounge I reviewed recently in Hong Kong. Now, there is a grand piano here, which I'm going to see if I can get a play on, but there's also a chocolate station, and I had some chocolates given to me by the organisers at the Grand Prix, and it was a bloody good product. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dark chocolate with pistachio. Got a bite to it. Yeah, I like it. I think I'd like it more if it was milk chocolate, but I'm not complaining. Can we try the hazelnut, please? So this is milk chocolate, and it's made here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's certainly nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh shit, he's playing piano like someone in Great Britain. Hopefully the cops doesn't arrest him.
Well, I'm on board an Airbus A330. This has 30 business class seats and 300 in economy. Jace is back in economy, but for about $60 Australian, which I'm guessing is 40 US, he got to buy the seat next to him, so he's got 2 seats effectively to himself, which was a pretty good deal. So this flight's 2 hours-ish to Dubai. It's a 222 cabin, but the seats are separated with a divider here, and it's not a bad business class for a daytime flight. It's not as nice as the Gulf Air flight that I came on, but different animal altogether. And here comes a drink.
Please allow me to serve you.
Thank you. Now my seat reclines fully flat. It's got a large footwell down here. We can charge with USB-C cables here. There's 240 volt power. There's a headphone plug over here and a remote control for the in-flight entertainment system. On the right-hand side of the seat here are the controls for the seat, and behind me is a light. Once again, we've been offered dates before we take off, and an Arabic coffee. This one's cardamom. Oh, it's too hot. I don't know how anyone drinks it. I keep saying that, but I have no taste for coffee. Now my cabin crew member is Pakistani, and she has recommended I try this
Wait, Pakistani?
Bellissimi drink. Let me tell you about it first. This is a recreation of a sparkling drink with simplicity and authenticity that will delight my palate. And it is lovely. It's a bit like a sparkling mineral water with a fruit juice. That is very refreshing. And we get these nuts. About 40 minutes into the flight, lunch was served, and it was a salad with no dressing and pretty much just lettuce. Ordinary. But the prawns, there were 2 of them, cold, tasty. And the main course was some lamb with a magnificent mashed potato, a tomato sauce, some spinach, and a corn cob. And that was definitely a restaurant quality meal. I'm giving that an...
Okay, this is too fancy food for me. This doesn't look nice at all. Maybe the bread.
8.2 out of 10. We were served 2 bread rolls with no
Free
butter,
for me.
oil or balsamic vinegar, and these were dry and I wouldn't rate them. And as for the dessert, it was some creamy...
Wait, what was dry?
...or balsamic vinegar, and these were dry and I wouldn't rate them.
Man, could be awesome.
And as for the dessert, it was some creamy thing with like a biscuit, like a sponge base. Average, 5 out of 10. Definitely.
That looks like a 10. So the food 3, the bread 5, this one 10. The water is maybe 1.
The standout though was the lamb. We're just on final approach into landing, and we're flying over those amazing islands. Well, there's one whole set that aren't developed at all, and then there's one, the Palms, which is something phenomenal from the air.
What is
Have a
this?
nice day, enjoy.
Unfortunately, Saudi Airlines and Emirates aren't linked, so we have to go through immigration, pick up our bags, clear customs, and come back in and check it in for the Emirates flight tonight. But we've got the best part of 9-10 hours here. We might have misjudged the walk from one terminal to the next, because at the moment we're down here in some underground road area on a very rocky path. About a 10-minute walk with luggage. Well, I was just asking about how it's possible for me to...
Oh yeah, this clip is Saudi better than Emirates. Let's see if
Go from business to first, and this lovely young lady here says, no, you're in first already, so maybe I got bumped. Gosh, that's great. Got to be lucky sometimes. It might have cost me about 30,000 points or a considerable amount of cash. Now, of course, I'm on first class on an aeroplane, but they don't have first class on the train that goes from A to B. But today I brought my own divider, and it's working a treat. We're going to...
What?
I år firar Miele 125 år. Upptäck alla våra jubileumsprodukter och kampanjer på miele.se och hos din Miele-återförsäljare.
Stay here and have unlimited food and drink for 8 hours before our flight takes off. And there are a few better places in the world to have to spend 8 hours eating. And
Oh, let's see. What do we get?
we're going to stay here.
Okay, the potato looks good, but not too much meat.
Here and have unlimited food and drink.
That looks better. I mean, more potato, but maybe too thick.
For 8 hours before our flight takes off. And there are a few better places in the world to have to spend 8 hours eating and drinking than this lounge.
Oh, that was not potato. So corn.
6 hours into our 9-hour layover, and I've decided to go and have a shower after having plenty to eat and a little bit of a kip. I'd like to have a shower, please. Thank you.
What? Shower?
Well, that was an excellent shower, and it's a little bit foggy in here. Well, I'm now suitably refreshed and ready to go back and wait just under 3 hours before I take off on this A380 to Perth, a journey of about 10 hours. Thank you, people. If you've watched any of my past videos, you'll know that I am quite the wine connoisseur, and hence we're here at the bar at the Emirates First Class Lounge, and there are numerous bottles of expensive wine here for me to educate you on. First up,
Right, me too.
it's an
Me too,
Allion Cab Sav. I wouldn't drink that. Let's go on to the next one. Talato And Chapoutier, it's Shiraz from the Pyrenees. Okay, it's been well shooken. This is a little sweeter, I'm told. It's a dry sort of taste in my mouth. I'm not a fan of that. A Chateau Larrivé Haut-Brion. This is what we're drinking here. To me, it tastes the same as the other two, with some mild differences. Next up, a white wine, and I believe this is from the same Bordeaux region as the other one. This is a Pape Clément 2015. Nice label. I can't even describe what that tastes like. It tastes yellow to me. Green apple. There you go.
Taste yellow.
Next up, quite dry. It's a very simple label. This is a Chateau de Fusel. Oh, no. Oh, that's offensive. That's your bottle, it's your glass. This is a nondescript smell, sour, and it contains sulfites. This goes back as far as 1831, and there is some of this wine in this glass. Oh, well, this smells dramatically different. Almost tastes like a spirit. We agree that this one was indeed interesting. Shaw and Smith, Sauv Blanc. I could drink that. Best one yet, the Shaw and Smith. On board in first, we're served Dom Perignon, but here in the lounge, they serve the business class champagne, which on the flight is Moët. This is a Brut, a Moët and Chandon. Now, I used to love it when they sponsored Formula One in the podium ceremony. Yeah, I love champagne a whole lot more than I do white or red wine. For me, it's easier to drink and it's less offensive to the palate. Now, I don't want any of you writing in the comments that you're disgusted that I don't drink wine or beer. That's right.
Or anything but Southern Comfort.
I will occasionally have a Southern Comfort or a Jameson's or a Drambuie. I used to drink ouzo as a teenager. So this is the rosé, and I've had a bit of this earlier on when I'm talking 6 hours ago today. We've been here a long time, and I prefer this to the regular Moët. It's pink. My choice.
Oh my god, it's just drink up everything.
Out of all of these, and what have we tried? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, at least 12 drinks, maybe 14, 15. My favourite is the rosé. So here's cheers to you. Well, this is gate A13, and it's on the same level in the same area that we've been sitting here for 8 hours. So we just walk from that restaurant, that lounge, 200 metres and get straight on here. It's just such a great deal. 1A.
Welcome on board. Nice camera.
Yeah, we mucked up. We went down the elevator and they wouldn't let us take us back up. So we have to do the stairs.
Hello, how are you?
Well, we went the wrong way.
Oh dear.
But I'm over here. This one right here. Seat 1A, very nice. And if you watch my video, what was it, 5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, where I had all 14 seats in this first class cabin on the A380 here on Emirates, it's a pretty good video. Today, I've got one seat. It's absolutely chock-a-block, but I've got a head start here with these beautiful licorice balls covered in chocolate. Can't get enough of them. This one's a lemony taste, mellow yellow. I've just realised my camera bag is too big for me to be able to store it at the footwell here and recline the bed. Not something I've ever had a problem with, because normally there's spare cabins, but today it's chock-a-block, so there's nowhere to put your excess luggage. So it's going to have to go back with Jace in an overhead locker. All right, let's get
Oh my god, so unlucky.
settled and we'll take off, huh?
After 3 weeks away, it's great to see the beautiful clear blue skies of Australia. 8.5 hours sleep is one of my best efforts, and now woken up to dinner as we head into Perth, arrived at about 5 p.m. Food-wise, I ordered the caviar, which is always excellent, and the tenderloin, which was really tender. But if you're a mustard lover like I am, just ask for mustard, because I didn't realise that they had Dijon on board in these little containers. A couple of things about the Emirates first class product is that you get these Bowers and Wilkins headphones, and they're so beautifully comfortable, and it makes a huge difference if you're spending 3+ hours watching videos. And the other thing is, I'll say it again, these chocolates, they're just beautiful. They're licorice balls covered in tasty chocolate or outer stuff.
It's 2 fantastic flights and a very long layover in Dubai. So we head back into Perth where it's 32 degrees and I think I have a lift waiting for me. Well, it's great to be back in Perth after a 26-hour journey with Saudia and Emirates. And in answer To my question posed at the start of this video, is Saudi as good as Emirates? No, very few are as good as Emirates, but for a short 2-hour flight in business class, it was fine. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button.
So, Emirates is better. Hype. So do you need to use more money for it?
Subscribe if you haven't done so. And for those of you looking to support the channel even more, become a member. And for a whole host of extra stuff, check out my links.
Thanks for watching and stay passionate.
Well, I can reveal that we've decided not to go into the city and find a route.
Oh! Man. Such a visual. Eller what do you say? Horrible attack. That biggest backstab moment ever.
Well, I can reveal that we've decided not to go into the city and find a route. Oh.
So mean. Oh my god. That attack just behind. He was not prepared for that.
Well, I can reveal that we've decided not to go into the city and find a route. Oh!
God damn it. Okay. The sun just do the attack behind him. Let's see. And then I think it wasn't anything more to watch. So maybe more tomorrow. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Oliver Bama will probably 100% get the hot seat. And yeah, there was anything in more news. Or the biggest news was Hulkenberg for some reason will go to Audi, and man, this, I mean, some driver lineup you can understand, like Oliver Bammer to Haas, sure, but Hulkenberg to Audi, Max Verstappen for some reason to Mercedes, Alonso to Mercedes. I mean, Aston Martin is so much better than Mercedes for now. Why leave a better car for a worse car? This is why Hamilton is leaving Mercedes and go to Ferrari. Oh yeah, he said something. Oliver Bammer going to RB or the Red Bull Academy. It's just weird. When he have a future in Ferrari, why waste that for maybe a Red Bull seat? When he is against up Ricciardo, probably not Tsunoda but Lawson. Yeah, so much weird stuff. But yeah, that's all for now. So let's see what will happen tomorrow. Maybe they continue fixing up this, but hopefully some more interesting stuff will be happening, so this stuff can be mined out. So this corner of the can be finished. So I have a blueprint of how the rest will turn out. I'm also making so I have 3 more beacons. But that will be for future plans. So for now we will end it here. And hopefully some more interesting stuff will happen tomorrow.